I bet you didn't know that Bing Crosby's White Christmas is the best selling record of all time, not just of Christmas music, with over 50 million copies sold. Let's talk about the rocky road to that wild success with some more music history. Christmas Day, 1941, just 2 weeks after the attack on Pearl Harbor, Bing Crosby first performed the new song White Christmas live on a radio show sponsored by the Kraft Foods Company. Written by Irving Berlin, composer of many classics of the Great American Songbook, and someone who religiously did not celebrate Christmas, the song was actually part of the soundtrack for a Paramount musical film Holiday Inn, and everyone from the producers to Bing Crosby to the composer himself reportedly thought it was just an okay, unremarkable song for a holiday movie. Perhaps due to the timing of the release at the end of the holiday season and so soon after a national tragedy, the song performed quite poorly until August of the following year when the movie was released. As the holidays arrived and millions of American soldiers abroad grew homesick, preparing to spend their first Christmas overseas, often in warm, snowless climates, the Armed Forces Network was flooded with requests for the song. Back at home, records started flying off the shelves, and White Christmas held the number one spot in the charts for 10 weeks from November of 1942 until well into the new year. The song continued to do well year after year, topping the charts again in 1945 and 1946, and starting a trend for wistful holiday tunes, inspiring such classics as I'll Be Home for Christmas, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and later Blue Christmas. Fun little aside, at the 1943 Oscars, Irving Berlin presented the award for Best Song in a Film to himself for White Christmas from Holiday Inn. White Christmas was recorded again in 1945 as the centerpiece of Bing Crosby's best-selling holiday album Merry Christmas, but the original 1941 recording, the one that made the song famous, has actually been lost to history. The master record, from which all copies were made, straight up wore out from overuse. Decca Records eventually coaxed Mr. Crosby back into the studio in 1947, and they made every effort to reproduce the exact sound of the original recording session, but you can recognize the re-recording by the addition of flutes and celesta in the introduction. Beyond Bing Crosby, many artists have recorded White Christmas. Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Otis Redding, Barbra Streisand, Bob Marley, Taylor Swift, and we haven't even made a dent in the list. It's estimated that there are over 500 versions of the song in more than a dozen languages. But however white your Christmas is this year, I hope you've enjoyed this history of White Christmas.